Yes, we should definitely change the bottom thing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Build on Open Source, the final episode of 2022. Derek, hello.
Yes. Hi, Rick. Last episode of the year.
Yes, I know. I'm so sorry. If you see me sniffle, that's why. It's been really great so far. I mean, we've had 8 episodes, and before we kind of start, Derek, what have been your highlights, so far of the of 2022 when it comes to building open source?
Yeah, Rick. So 2022, I can't believe it's over. It's been quite the year. So the highlights for me, probably the first highlight would be the fact that we got back in person. So
yeah,
I know you and I have just back what seems just came back from Vegas. So we had our first in-person reInvent for a number of years, which was great. It really was. I'm sure you feel the same.
totally.
Meeting people and just doing shows from reInvent, which was cool. And one of the shows that we did was an open source show, which is also a highlight for me. Obviously, this show, I love doing this show with you. And so we had a guest, not only somebody who we've had on our show here, but also got invited to talk at reInvent on the Build On Live show. So that was Ian Mackay, who is from Sydney in Australia. So I look after Australia, the Australian DA. So that was great just to see Ian. Ian's a bit of a legend.
He is totally. And I think that was one of the most viewed shows, wasn't it? So it's like it was great to see the Build On Live at reInvent and see him there. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah, and actually that's a good segue to my highlight, because I think for me, what surprised me, we've only done 8 episodes this year, and we're planning to come back in 2023 with more episodes. It'll be bigger, and better and big, So for me, one of the surprises and one of the things I enjoyed was that we didn't expect that we were going to have guests every week. We kind of thought that we would go through the projects, and we would do some code. We did, I think, the first episode we actually did some code.
I wrote code, and you wrote code. Thank goodness.
Wow, exactly. Yeah,
and so we watched.
I think it. Yeah, exactly. And it worked. Well, both yours worked. I think mine didn't work quite as well as yours, but never mind. So I think what surprised me was that, we kept having loads of guests want to come on. And that's been, for me, the highlight. I love when guests comes on. And that's a really good segue into actually kind of what you've got planned on for you today. So as it's the last show of 2022, we're going to start off with a roundup of the latest open source projects coming up. Then we're going to segue into our special guest this week, Rand Eisenberg, AWS community builder, who's going to be talking about some of his open source projects, which I'm really excited about. I think that you're going to really enjoy what he's got to talk about. And cool. Also because it's the last show of this year, and because it's festive, and we've got, we've come with hats and tinsel, and stuff. We've got a raffle. We've got stuff to give away. I've got T-shirts. Okay, I've got an open source AWS T-shirt. I've got an S3 bucket hat. I've got,
my goodness,
probably one of the kind of the best pieces of swag. The DevOps is not dead T-shirt. I've got one of these. So I've also got. So that's a catch, that one. Not very many of the people have got that, so that's a bit of a good one. And I've also got an open source medal challenge coin to give away, as well as the a signed poster from All Things Open. So we've got the raffle coming up, so don't miss that.
Like Santa, you're Santa.
I am like Santa. I'm giving things away, So all those kind of sort of good open source builders, out there who want to take part. So watch out for the raffle coming up later on today. So awesome. I think, Derek, we've brought the bell back. So this is the transition control for Derek. So Derek, transition, please.
The bell.
Yes, there we go. So everyone, Derek, you shared, I think, earlier on, this show is really kind of driven by people who are watching. If you have got open source projects you want us to talk about, then please, get in contact, use the comments. But what we're going to do over the next sort of 10-15 minutes is go through the current and the previous open source newsletters. So this one is currently going to be published on Monday. It's got some really cool new projects. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to go through some of the highlights. The first thing, though, because it's the last newsletter of 2022, you can't. I think that's one of the things. At the end of the year, you always see these TV programs, right? That show the best of 2020, the best 5 TV programs, or best adverts, or best music videos, right? So of course, I've got to do the same thing, right? So this is the best, or not best, but these are the most popular projects. So I'm sharing this in the newsletter because some of you might not have read all of the newsletters, and so this is your chance really to have a look at this list. Oh, you have? Okay, well done. I thought you might, Derek. Check them out because they're all awesome projects, and obviously they have appealed to a large number of folks who tune into the newsletter and tune into the show. Okay, so that's the first thing to draw people's attention to. We've got a top 15. I think it's a top 15. My counting skills this early in the morning are not so good, but yeah. So some of you might know, some of you might not know. Okay, so from there, let's look at actually the new projects. The first one is hard. I'm not quite sure how to say this. Is it Harden EKS or Hardnecks? Hardinecks?
I read it Hardnecks. Hardened necks. Once I read it, I just went, "Oh, nice name, but also very nice graphics." Nice little bit of art.
Indeed.
I like that.
So exactly. And what this project does, okay, is if you're running Kubernetes via Amazon EKS, then allows you to run this tool and check to make sure that you are following best practices for EKS. Now, I'm not sure if those best practices are well architected. I haven't dived deeper yet into the project. I've got a couple of EKS clusters that I'm currently playing around with, so I'm going to run it and test it on that. But it's still a very handy tool with nice visualization. So yeah, we like this one. Although we still want to know how to call it. what to call it.
Hardnecks.
Hardinecks is what I'm going to call it.
Hardnecks. Harden EKS.
Yes. So next one is the Lambda Snapshot Java rules. Well, that's easy for me to say.
Oh, yeah, go on.
The AWS Lambda Snapshot. I can't say it. Snapshot, snap start. That's a tongue twister.
It is. AWS Lambda Snap Start Java rules.
So you said it straight off. You see, well done. I applaud you. That gets a bell ring. Well done. So what is it though? What is this project? Well, okay. So what it is that for folks who didn't or haven't heard this announcement, where were you? At reInvent, we introduced this new capability in Lambda that allows you to drastically reduce your cold start times for Java Lambda functions. Okay. Now, what I didn't know at the time is that it's not. You have to make sure that your Java code can work with this. Right. So what this is a set of rules you can implement in one of the very popular open source kind of static analysis tools that lets you pre-check to make sure that your Lambda function is going to work with Snapstart. Snapstart. Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. So definitely if you're experimenting with Snapstart, getting better, then check this out. Next one. Who isn't talking about ChatGPT? Derek, are you talking about
pretty much everybody in the whole world is ChatGPT.
Everyone in the whole world. Have you tried it?
Yes. It's like
I've tried it. I've tried it to create code, simple code, right? Either like create me a quick Python script to upload files to S3, and I've been amazed by it, right? Well, anyway, someone has come up with this new open source project tool that allows you to create Terraform. Okay, so to create terrific or terrifying Terraform.
Terraform. Yes,
exactly. I've not tried this yet, but I'm going to try it.
The best use I've heard so far of ChatGPT, apart from this, of course, was to do your annual performance appraisal.
Oh my gosh. I can imagine our managers now, Derek, right? Seeing all this text, right? And it all sounding very similar. Damn. That's a good well done, whoever came up with that use case. Well done.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, so moving on to the next project. Okay, we've got AWS TFS Prowler Fargates. Now, Prowler is an open source project that allows you to do a security assessment of your AWS environments. You can run it any way you want, but this is a really nice solution that effectively allows you to run it via AWS Fargate. So it takes care of running and setting everything up for you. So I like this, and it's customizable as well, and it produces the report in an S3 bucket. So if you haven't or wanted to explore with Prowler, then why not try this out? It's Terraform, so allows you to really easily set this up. Have you used or heard of Prouder before, Derek?
No, I haven't. But I'm just thinking those last two projects you could use together, couldn't you?
Oh yes, very nice.
You
Exactly.
did that on
Good
purpose.
point. Yeah,
You did that on purpose.
yeah. Well, there may be some linkage going on there.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not going to claim credit. Okay, so last project, we got more projects, but the last one I want to highlight really is this IoT Greengrass painless installer, which allows you very easily to deploy Greengrass on devices just by integrating a Cognito user, right? So rather than having to worry about AWS credentials, it allows you to integrate just Cognito, which means you could also integrate with Cognito, something like Active Directory if you're using that. So allows you to very easily deploy Greengrass without having to have any knowledge or access to AWS, which I think is pretty cool. And it's cool. It's a customizable solution. So I really like that. So there's more. There's lots of other projects. So, but I'll leave you to explore that. I want to go through last week's newsletter because there's a couple of Corker projects on this one as well.
Yep.
So this one is available for everyone to view. So the first one is the PGL TLE, right, which is the Trusted Language Extensions, which we launched at reInvent. It was actually in one of the keynotes. And what this actually is a really cool open source project that you can use anywhere. You can use it in your own Postgres environments. You don't have to use it on RDS Aura. And it allows you effectively to create effectively kind of a whitelisting, an allow listing. Sorry, let's get our terminology right. We don't have to use that word anymore.
No.
So that we to create effectively allow lists that help you improve the security of your Postgres environments. Okay, so I think that's a really cool sort of project that helps you raise the bar of security in your Postgres environments, and really excited to see what people are doing with it. So if you are exploring this project or using it, and I'd love to hear from you. Because I want to experiment with it in the new year, so I'd love to find out what other people are doing with it. Okay. Yeah. So next project is EKS Node Viewer. So again, this one is easier to pronounce. So the other one.
no snapshot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this one, Justin Garrison, who's one of the DAs in the containers team, he shared a little TikTok of him running it. Okay, and I really liked it. But it allows you to really easily visualize what's going on within your cluster, and it's very graphical. So who doesn't like graphical CLI tools? I do. I know you do, Derek. So
I'm a big fan.
Exactly. So I think that's a really cool project. So if you're running kind of EKS environments, then definitely check this out, and check out the video from Justin. It's pretty neat.
Yep.
Next project, Function Clarity. So this is an interesting one. Okay, so this allows you to effectively sign your Lambda functions to improve the security, which I think that's kind of like a nice new layer that you can have, for especially highly regulated or environments where you want to have that high level of security, right? So this is not a tool plus also a blog post that shows you how to use it as well. So if you're looking at how to implement higher bar security within your serverless environments, then definitely check this out. I think it's a very interesting project from the company that's behind it.
Yeah, I like the name too.
Now,
Function Clarity.
Yes, exactly. Now, I'm not sure what to make of this project, Eric. I'm not sure if you saw this one, Dyna 53.
I did.
So you did. So we've had Alvaro Hernandez on the show before, great guy, and he's created this new project, this killer service called Dyna 53, which allows you to effectively use Route 53 as a database, which using, I think, DynamoDB kind of like API. Yeah, so effectively, you no longer need to use DynamoDB. Why not use Route 53 instead?
What wasn't in the beginning of the year? Didn't we have a bit of a rant about that? Didn't Mr. Corey Quinn get started on that one?
So. I think so. Well, now it's a possibility. So, Alvaro, we applaud you. We applaud your creativity.
It can be done.
It's pretty interesting, and I think I certainly enjoyed and had a smile when I saw this project. There are more other projects. So there's a Dynamo Mass Migrations, which allows you to very quickly migrate All the code is open source. I'm not going to go through all of them, Derek, because we've got time, but make sure you check all these other projects on which I'm scrolling through very, very quickly.
I'll post
This
all
one
the
actually
links
got a
up.
lot of traction. This visual asset management one was one of the most viewed projects last week. So obviously this has caught everyone's attention. I'm not particularly so familiar with this particular space of managing digital assets, but obviously some of you are who are watchers. So definitely, if you weren't aware of that and you do that as your job, then check this project out. So I think, Derek, with that, I think we're ready for the next segment.
Oh, hold on. No. I'm not ready, but I will be ready. Hold on. I was doing links at the same time. Hold on. And I need the bell.
Hey there! Thanks for checking out this video. Remember to give it a like and share with your community. Then hit subscribe and the bell for all the latest content that will help you build on AWS.